So welcome back, guys, to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about games I've been playing. Now, I do a lot of different segments on this channel, from podcasting to reviews to gaming news, gaming memories, but out of all those segments, this is probably one of my favorites because it gives me time to talk about multiple games, give a couple of different reviews, a couple of suggestions, and at the end of this video, I'm hoping it gives you something new to play and add to the pain of backlog, because my backlog is just overflowing at the moment. I just kind of want to share that struggle. Now, the first game I want to talk about is a game I think anyone who has a Nintendo Switch is diving into at the moment, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Now, I love Link's Awakening. I made a video a couple months back talking about my top 5 favorite Zeldas of all time, and this was definitely in that countdown. I remember as a kid playing it on the Game Boy and being introduced to handheld gaming and having that console experience with this title. And, you know, the remake does something that I feel like a lot of remakes strive to do. This is a great example of a good remake because it gives something new to old school fans, but at the same time, it gives you that nostalgic buzz of your childhood, and that's really what this game really captures. Same thing with the Resident Evil 2 remake. That's what I really like about that game as well. And there are some changes and some nuances they did to Link's Awakening. Most importantly is the inventory system. That's one of my biggest things I love about this game, is they've improved the inventory system. The original Zelda Link's Awakening, you know, the buttons were very limited because it was on the Game Boy, so you found yourself sacrificing your item placement to use certain items. Like, say you needed to use a bomb, you would sacrifice your sword in place of the bomb, and that would kind of put you in a tight spot if you didn't know what you were doing. My only complaint I would have about Link's Awakening, the remake, one is there are some frame rate drops. It's something I feel like everyone's been talking about. It's not game breaking, but there are some noticeable slowdowns when you're using dock or handheld mode, when you're going in and out of like houses, or there's like that screen transition. It's nothing too crazy, but it's definitely worth noting. And also, I feel like if you're a newcomer to the game, and if you've never played a whole lot of old school Zeldas, this game may be a little tough for you, because I know I've seen a lot of folks beat this game in 2 days. But those are the same people who have played this game so many times and know all the nooks and crannies, know all the secrets, remember everything. Myself, I haven't played the game in such a long time that I was actually going back and looking up walkthroughs that were written in '93, looking back and be like, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing. And I feel like a lot of new modern gamers that have never checked this game out, this may be a little cryptic for you. So if you've never played Link's Awakening, it's quite a treat. I'm actually envious that you get to have that experience for the first time, but man, this is such a great title. Now, you guys know me, I love my indie titles, and this indie title was on sale for $9.99 on eShop, and I'm like, okay, I gotta check this out. It's been under my radar for quite some time. It's won numerous awards, and that is Celeste. Now, Celeste, I don't want to give away too much of the story, but you know, you're playing as this girl in the beginning of the game, and you're trying to climb up this mountain, but there's more to it than just climbing up a mountain. There's this dive into her psyche, diving into mental illness and anxiety. I mean, I was very surprised how deep the story was to this game. I was like, wow, because I've heard about the game, but I never really looked too much into it because I didn't want to be too spoiled before I started playing it. But gameplay-wise, I feel like this is a game that's not for everybody, and the reason why I say that's because this is almost a speedrun kind of platformer. There's some puzzle elements to it, but it's very much a, you know, kind of like Super Meat Boy, end of night kind of game. And it's been so long since I've heard about it that when I was playing it, I thought for some reason that you had attacks. I was like, man, where am I going to start attacking something, hack and slash? But it's all about getting to point A to point B in the fastest way possible, and it's got a lot of challenge. It's got an amazing soundtrack, and to be honest, like $9.99, you can't really go wrong with that. Now, the next game I want to talk about is actually a demo. I forget sometimes that we can still download demos and try the game out before we buy it, and I'm kind of glad I did. And I'm talking about Contra Rogue Ops. Now, I remember when they first announced Contra Rogue Ops at last E3, at first I didn't even know what the game was. I had no idea it was a brand new Contra game from Konami, and I saw the name, I got really excited. I was very puzzled about the play style. I'm like, man, this doesn't really feel too much like Contra. I mean, it's got some Neo-Contra in there, but I was like, I don't know. But they had the demo, and I downloaded it, and what can I say? I have to admit, and this is my opinion, it's not for me. There are so many things about the game that I didn't really care for in the demo. I didn't like the fact that your gun overheated because, when you're playing Contra, you want to just spray and pray that you don't get hit because that one-hit kill, which the game doesn't have. It's got a health bar. Now, it's more of a twin-stick shooter than a 2D running gun, and I've been talking to some of my friends who have actually went out and bought the game, and they say, you can upgrade your weapons for, taking away certain things like overheating your weapons and stuff like that. But, I mean, the game itself, it doesn't look like it has a lot of personality. That's one of my biggest gripes. It's very muddy. A buddy of mine brought up a very good point. My friend Mike, he was like, it almost feels like it was supposed to be a mobile game, and they decided to release it on console. And I can kind of see that because, Konami's been diving into the mobile market. And, when you're looking at the game, there's like textures that seem very blown up. Some of the upgrades that you get almost look like they could have been microtransactions. So this could have been a mobile game that they decided to put on consoles. Now, I feel like this game may be collectible in the coming years because it seems to have a really low print run. It's only $30, but I'll be honest, I have so many games I'm playing at the moment that unless the game really grabs me, I'm just probably going to skip out on it. I might get a flash sale or something on eShop, and hopefully, I get it cheap enough and it changes my mind. But for now, this isn't really the Contra I'm looking for. I'm just going to stick to Blazing Chrome. Now, early September was a gaming history memory that I just love so much. So much so that my friend Anthony and I, we do Blast Podcasting. It's a nerd culture podcast, and we dedicated a whole episode to 9/9/99, the release of the Sega Dreamcast and the release of Final Fantasy VIII. And, that day, I remember I fixed a cup of coffee. I was on my Nintendo Switch browsing the eShop, and I was like, Final Fantasy VIII Remaster. Now, I know when this game was announced, the remaster, everyone was really excited. Me, personally, I wasn't that excited because, I'll be honest, 20 years ago, I enjoyed Final Fantasy VIII for what it was, but I was not wooed by it. It was not my favorite Final Fantasy. But I was like, times change. I'm going to check this game out. I pulled out my Final Fantasy VIII Bradley Game Strategy Guide that I bought the day that I got Final Fantasy VIII on the PlayStation 1. And what can I say? For a 20-year-old book, it's got a lot of, it's in really good condition. I was really excited about that, but I went and started playing the game, and something clicked. I was like, I get it. I enjoyed this game. I enjoy the remastered look. It looks great. Of course, like other Final Fantasy remasters, they added the no random battles. They added the extra EXP, the speed time, which I use religiously, especially for some of these summons because they're so long. I use the speed runs on that. But I think those settings are really cool for casual players, of course, but also for folks that have played the game 20 years ago that just want to blow through it and have that nostalgic buzz. So I love that setting they put in there. But I started playing it, and I've been really enjoying it. And be sure to check out the newest episode of Blast Podcasting with me and Anthony. We really dive into our Final Fantasy VIII memories. It's something really, really cool to listen to. And of course, I mentioned the Sega Dreamcast as well. I had my own, anniversary with that. I went and booted up my Sega Dreamcast. I was playing numerous games, and I really need to get one of those HDMI converters on my new television because I'm still using AV on my Dreamcast, and it looks really, really muddy. It does not look that good, but I was sitting there playing it, and then also, you know, I downloaded an emulator on my phone, and this is so amazing. This blows my mind, you know, that we can play Dreamcast portably. We can play it on our phones, and this emulator I'm going to mention, I'm going to have a link on the description below so you guys can download it. It's a great emulator. It's called Redream. It's very simple to use. There is 2 different versions. There's the light version. There's a version that you pay like $5 to have it for life, and I just stuck to the light version, and I was playing it with my 8-bit DOE NES 30 controller synced up Bluetooth with my phone. Fantastic controller, great controller for Dreamcast games. And I was playing Project Justice, and you guys are seeing some of the gameplay footage of Project Justice from my phone, playing it on the go. Amazing. And Project Justice is a very underrated fighter from Capcom. It's a sequel to Rival Schools. You know, it's got 3-player team matches, and it's a lot of fun. It's a shame that Capcom has almost forgot about the Rival School series. Like, everyone else remembers it but Capcom. It would be great to see these games remastered and put out on the Nintendo Switch and modern consoles with online multiplayer. I would just absolutely lose my mind. So anyway, guys, those are some games I've been playing recently. Be sure to leave a comment below. Tell me some games you've been playing, especially if you've been playing Contra Ops. I would love to hear some outside opinions on this title. This is the game I'm kind of on the fence about, but the demo did not sell me. So I'd love to hear some folks who have been actually playing it. Tell me what you think about it. And be sure to check out the description as well, because I have an Amazon link for the 8-bit DOE controller and the Redream Dreamcast emulator. If you want to play Dreamcast on the go, this is the way to do it. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the bell beside the subscription button. This will notify you on all weekly content coming out on this channel. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And as always, happy gaming.